Here we go. I'll call the Tuesday, February 24th, 2026 Board of Adjustments meeting to order. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from our December 16th, 2025 meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Item 2, new business. Variance request at 1422 18th Avenue South.
Good morning. The application before you this morning is to allow a new detached accessory structure to encroach into the required setback in the SR2 single dwelling zoning district. Detached accessory structures are required to be 3 feet from the rear and interior side lot line. The subject property is 1422 18th Avenue South. You can see an aerial photo with Google Street View of a greener time of the property. The application request for variance is to allow for this new garage to encroach in that 3-foot south property, reducing that setback to 2 feet. As you know, variances require or have 5 criteria that all should be met to grant a variance. Staff find that criteria A and C are not met, and although we acknowledge that this lot is smaller than the required SR2 minimum lot size, that there are options for a garage to be constructed on the site that's detached that could meet the setbacks. So therefore, although it's smaller, there are still options for that detached structure for criteria A, and that household living use is still a use whether they get the variance or not. So again, there is not a physical hardship staff find because there are options for a garage to meet all of the requirements at this site. So the recommended motion is to deny the request for a variance to allow a new garage to be constructed on site. The motion is in your packet and on the screen. The applicants are here if you have any questions, and that concludes the presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff at this time? Okay, hearing none. If the applicant wishes to speak, you're more than welcome.
Thank you for allowing us a chance to speak. And again, as far as the other options for us to do, our house, it's a very small house. If we were to try and move the garage or attach the garage, we lose a bedroom on the inside of the house. And as I said, it's already a small house that only has 3 bedrooms upstairs. As far as hardship and whatnot, the hardship right now, when the garage was built, before we ever bought the house or whatnot, cars were smaller, people were smaller. But since that time, right now, as we try and park into our garage and have our vehicles together, every time we open our door, it's hitting the side. I've hit his vehicle a couple times because it's so tight in there. The amount of space that we have to get in and out of our vehicles once you open that door is literally 10 inches. And trying to get in there is extremely difficult. If we lived in Arizona or something like that where it's warm all the time, parking outside or trying to park our cars tandemly might be an option. But we're talking about going out in 20 below weather just to get out, to move a vehicle, to try and get back in. We're getting older. I don't know if at some point I'm going to need a walker or whatnot, but I know that at the age that I am right now, 10 inches is not a whole lot of room to get in there. This variance would allow us a little more space on each side to get in, to comfortably get in, to allow our grandkids. Right now, we can't even get our grandkids in our vehicles without pulling the car out and having them get in from the outside. Or if they're with us, they have to get out first and go in. So again, we are willing to do whatever we need to do as far as safety wall, add that additional fire safety part, we'll do that. This, I know that it might not sound a lot, a foot, but when you're talking about 10 inches, an extra foot can be a big deal.
Any questions for the applicant? I had one. So I was looking at the drawings from Simonson Lumber. There's a note on here that the property line says use client sketch and GIS. Did you guys locate that property line?
Yes, we had Moorhead Engineering come in, put new pins in, because they found one pin, and we paid to put all 4 pins in, so all 4 pins are in.
Okay, thank you.
I take it you want to go, this would be slab on grade,
Yes,
so you are 3 feet from the existing house. So the only way to get next to the house would be to put in a foundation, a full foundation, so you could pick up that 3 feet and then attach it to the house.
if we attach the garage to the house, there's a bedroom right there that we will lose. There will
You'll-
be no safety exit for,
There'd be no
we'll
window.
lose that room, yeah, there is no exit point.
Is that on the back corner then?
The room is, one is on the corner, and then there's another room that's right in the middle of the house.
On that south wall?
On the south
South wall.
south wall, yes.
Yep.
Okay, that's why the 3 feet
Yeah, that's right now, there's a 3-foot walkway.
to maintain an exit out of the bedroom.
Right.
Yes.
I had a question that's maybe code related. I don't know if there's anybody here from inspections or building. So if they build 2 foot off the property line, they have to do some additional fire rating for that wall, is that correct?
Yeah, not the wall itself, as long as the wall is at 2 feet, but the overhang would have to be constructed with extra fire protection.
Okay, and then, so then if the property adjacent, which it looks like they're set back a little bit further, but if they were to build to their allowed setback line, would that affect any of the stuff that they would do? Would they have to do additional fire rating?
No, yeah, we do it on a property-by-property basis, just because of that reason. We don't want to have a knock-on effect where it affects the neighbors for projects in the future.
Okay, thank you. Right one.
Could you speak to the other options? I believe I saw the outline of maybe one of the proposed options on the plan.
Sure, so just one option would be, although it might not be optimal for them to use a tandem garage, but they are building a longer garage where there would be room to make it 1 foot narrower and a little longer to meet if they keep the exact same driveway access. And then if they would want to consider taking access off of 18th Avenue, there would be some room within that buildable area for a detached structure on the west side of the building.
I have a question about impervious area. If they would build their garage basically in their rear yard, would it be a similar impervious area as the proposed garage location?
They are limited in square footage by the area of the primary structure, so all of these options are at that 950 square foot option. So other than, variables on the driveway, the impervious surface would be pretty similar.
Because the code just restricts building area, right? It doesn't do overall impervious. It's like 35% building coverage, is that correct? Right button.
Question for the applicant. Have you considered at all the 25 by 38? It seems like the egress and ingress and stacking would actually be better on that option.
I just looked at this morning, and to do that, we would have to take a tree out. We'd have to put an approach through the boulevard and then come down.
I don't know that we would have enough room for that. Like, the reason that we're going the length that we're doing is again, to try and get and accommodate the things that we have. So for example, we do have a boat that right now, because it doesn't fit into our garage, we have to store that elsewhere and pay storing fees for that. So the one that we see off to the side, I don't think that would allow us the capability of our vehicles plus putting that boat in there, which is why we were hoping that we could just build where this was, not have to create that additional driveway over there. The other part of it, by putting it over to the side, with it being detached, as it is right now, again, we're in Fargo, it's 22 degrees below. Going from our house, the way that it is right now, we go from our kitchen door into the garage door, so we're pretty protected there. Now we would have to go out, and probably not huge amount of steps, but go into the garage another way there. And again, I don't think, again, seeing what it was this morning, because we had a question, and thank you, Kim, for meeting us quickly this morning, because when we saw the thing about what other options, I kind of had the same question. What are our other options? I mean, like, I thought this was our only option. I didn't even know that we could go over there. But in looking at the amount of space there, again, I don't think that we have enough space there to accommodate what we're trying to do in there. The garage has to be replaced. The floor has cracks in it that are this big. It's an older house. We definitely didn't necessarily plan on staying here forever, and then we fell in love with the neighborhood. So what we're trying to do is make the improvements to the property that we can, so when it's affordable housing for younger people, which is what attracted us there. It was right next to the hospital where I worked, and there's still hospital services there. It's right next to an elementary school. So again, once we're not going to be living there anymore, we want it to be something that's going to work for younger families too.
Kim, could you go back to that exhibit that shows the other options? Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I look at this and, I would take it your existing garage is like 18 feet wide right now and you're trying to go to 19. I mean, based on those pictures you submitted, I don't know that a foot is going to give you enough room to make that much more usable. If you look at the other option, which I know you said you guys didn't want to consider, but I mean, you'd be able to build something that's 25 feet wide, which would be much more usable for a two-car garage. And, you think in resale, that's going to be much more desirable to somebody than, seeing a quasi two-stall garage that, barely fits two cars.
So can I ask, do we know how far back that goes? So it could go 25 wide. How long?
What was the question again?
How deep could that be? It says 38, right? That's the buildable.
I think
25 by
I
38.
just used the 950 square
Oh,
feet that the
okay.
original proposal
Sure.
was, and then just
So 25 by
Math option.
38 then, right? That's what shown? Yeah.
it's,
That's not good.
How long is the boat and how long is the pickup?
Well, with the trailer, it's 21 feet.
And what's the pickup?
Pickup is 18?
So 21 and 18?
21, 22. I'm not sure exactly how long the truck is.
So the boat's 20, he's thinking the boat's 21 or 22 feet. The truck is 18. So that would not be big enough then.
No.
And I know an extra foot doesn't seem like much, but again, like I say,
It'd help so much.
it would help. It would help. Instead of having 10 inches, we'd potentially have 16 inches to get out of our vehicles.
And you asked about the fire-rated wall, and our plans are to have it fully, the whole garage done in fire protection. It's not just one wall, we're going to do the whole garage.
Are there any other questions for staff for the applicant? No? Is there a motion? Are we ready for one? Yep.
I make a motion to accept the findings of staff and deny the request for a variance to allow a new detached accessory structure garage to encroach into the required setback in the SR2 zoning district on the basis that the review criteria of section 20-0914 E.1 A and C have not been met.
Is it-
Make a second on that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion on the motion?
I see that the location of the garage that they've proposed and the length is the least intrusive to the other houses in the neighborhood. Because if the garage goes on the side yard and accesses from 18th, the house just to the west of them is pretty close. Whereas the garage being to the south of their house is, 1 foot wider. But in terms of their construction and just removing the existing garage, I feel like it has the least impact. And the fact that the wall doesn't have to be fire rated, just the eave, to me is a indication that it's more acceptable than not, even though I understand the setback is 3 feet.
Any other discussion? Okay, just to clarify, the motion is to deny the requested variance. So, with that, please call the roll.
Wendell Dobb,
No.
Gunkelman,
No.
Polchinski,
No.
Orth. Love.
Yes. So the motion failed, so we do not have anything yet. Is there an alternative motion?
The length of the garage would allow them to park tandem if they didn't have their boat in the garage.
If they were going to park tandem, then they could go back to the 18 feet and not need the variance.
I think I misunderstood the way I voted on the motion. I voted to accept the motion that was proposed. And so there was actually be 3.
Either way, if
Yeah, it did, you need 4.
One of the reasons that I am okay with accepting an exception to the setback is that the lot is smaller than a typical lot. And it's in a neighborhood that we want to encourage investment and improvement. Of course, we'd want that for all lots, but
I mean, I agree with you, Deb. I mean, we want to allow these people to, make their properties better. I just think, I mean, to make that more desirable, a true 2-car garage where you could comfortably park next to each other makes much more sense in my opinion than just trying to use what they have currently and only make it a foot wider. So, I mean, that's where I sit.
I tend to agree with you on that. I looked at this yesterday, this lot, and I think it would make more sense to me to go on the west side of the house with the garage. I mean, if it's not attached to the house, I mean, the other option they'd have too on that side of the house is you could, I mean, again, you're gonna spend more money if you attach it to the house. But the roof line would be very suitable to attach it to the west side. I don't know, I just think and again, you'd end up with a lot better garage. I mean, you could actually put your boat in and turn it sideways at the end of the garage, and not need as much length as you're showing on the other one.
Correct me, does attaching it, though, change all the setback requirements? Don't attached garages have, attached structures have different setback requirements?
Attached.
The setback requirement would change from 3 feet to 5 feet.
So it gets worse.
Is it an automatic 5 or is it a percentage? I can't remember.
It's a 10% or 5 feet, whichever is less.
Okay. Can you go back to that drawing you had of the, alternative location?
Thank you.
this one?
Yep.
Yes.
I think this is
This is
3,
3.
but if you attached it, you'd get that 3 back, so you would have your 5.
Yeah. Or even if you left it, this still would go down just to 23.
Yeah.
Which is still better than 19. And you wouldn't need a variance.
Correct. So we currently do not have a motion to approve, so if no one has that, then I believe the application is denied due to lack of a motion.
Is that where we want to leave it?
And it's either that or, yeah, I guess we already had that one motion, so that which failed. So basically failure to act is denying it, which kind of appears where we're at here, so. Okay, well, not hearing any other motions, yes, we failed to act on this item, therefore the application is denied. You do have the option to appeal to City Commission if you wish, or consider an alternative layout. Right.
Thank you for your time, and thank you, Kim. Everyone has been great trying to help us through this process, so thank you.
No other business on the agenda, so is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.